All right, back in here on GCR. My apologies. Let's try this one more time. Lionel Dalton, Jellyroll himself, joining us here on GCR. Lionel, it's Glenn. So sorry these are the circumstances, but thank you for taking the time for us.
No problem. Anytime.
Jellyroll, do you remember like the first ever interaction that you had with Tony Siragusa?
For me, it was my rookie year, and I was, Goose was the Hayes, the rookie. So, and he took a liking to me. He used to pick on me all the time. So I used to have to bring him beer and barbecue to his room every night during training camp. And that's what I remember with Goose. And then the following year, he kind of, took me under his wing and started, mold me. And one of the reasons I got to play so long is I learned so much from Goose.
What'd you learn, Lionel? Tell me about that. Tell me about when what did.
Just take. I mean, off the field, he has a personality, so we have fun. But I'm talking about from a technique standpoint of how to be a professional, how to interact with with you guys, the media. He actually did media training with me once. Um, he always critiqued me, and he didn't critique a lot of other guys. So he kind of, I was told that means he liked me.
I
So,
mean, he definitely seemed to have a way, if he liked you, to be aggressive in that.
right. And I just remember Hard Knocks and him and Shannon Sharp going at it and all the pranks. And he definitely made my time in Baltimore enjoyable. My favorite moment was him pulling up to the helicopter to practice. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So remind me of that.
Yeah, he brought the helicopter to practice. We thought Goose was late. Like everybody talking about Goose late. And we was looking at practice in this helicopter in the middle of practice. We about to do, I think, 907. And Goose pull up in a helicopter. That was hilarious.
Oh man,
he definitely had a lot of fun with Goose.
Lionel Dalton with us here on GCR. Lionel, how important? Of course, we've been talking a lot this morning about Tony Siragusa and his character and his personality and being so larger than life. But from a football standpoint, how critical was he in what you guys were able to do in building maybe the greatest defense of all time?
Well, Goose was a master of eating up blockers, so he made it with Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharp and Peter Boware, those guys didn't have to worry about the offensive lineman getting to the second level. And he taught me a lot about that. He taught me how to do that. And those techniques I used throughout my 9-year career that helped prolong my career. So he was definitely a force to be reckoned in the middle. Come on, you got 400 pounds coming nonstop. I mean, who's going to stop him? And the fans loved him, and he was a house favorite. Everybody loved Goose. He was like, what's not to like about Goose? It was hard not to like Goose.
Oh, I mean, he did. One of the other things we were just talking about a minute ago, Jellyroll, was that it's hard. Griffin, my sidekick, he has no idea. I mean, he wasn't even alive at this point, right? It's hard to explain to Ravens fans of young ages that, like, at the time, the Ravens weren't this ubiquitous, beloved franchise. There was still some awkwardness, right? Like, in when you arrived in the late '90s, like, yes, you guys were popular and we wanted to like you, but like, it wasn't what it is today. I know you've been back a lot in recent years.
It was a lot of people on the fence about, the old Colts fans. They were mad, and the Cleveland Brown fans. It wasn't until we won that Super Bowl, I think, that the city really started to embrace us and love us.
I,
And
I really do believe that Tony went a long way there. Like that because of his personality, because of his willingness, you mentioned to do media and to go out and touch people. And it really feels to me as though Tony, as a player goes, was as responsible as anyone for establishing the connection between this city and this franchise.
Yeah, he was definitely he wasn't just a player; he was like an entertainer as well. So
Yep.
he definitely he kept you guys media on their toe. You didn't know what to expect with Goose. One day he might be flying in a helicopter. Next day he might tell me the rookies to buy barbecue for the whole team. Or it was we had a good time, man. I got so many stories. Some stuff I can't tell you about on the radio.
I understand that. It's been. By the way, that's been a common refrain over the last couple of days.
It's some things I just can't say, but we had a great time, man.
What was the barbecue order, Lionel? Like, what was when during training camp?
Barbecue order. I think that was when Tony Romo was in Orange Mills. Is he still there?
I don't think so. Actually,
Tony Romas was there, and he had me. I think it was about $1,000 worth of ribs,
what?
and I had to pay for it myself because it was my turn. And he didn't make me just buy for the D lineman. He made me buy for the all D lineman and the linebackers and the D backs. So I had to buy for the whole defense.
A
And
thousand dollars worth of ribs.
I had to buy $1,000 worth of ribs.
Did you get to enjoy any of them, or was you
I
know?
had a little bit, but he paid me back. We hung out a couple times after that. After I got established as a player on the team, he paid me back. He took me out a few times after that.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was just part of the. They don't haze anymore. I think that's over now. I don't think they haze anymore in sports. But that was part of the what made him special, man. He made everything enjoyable. He made training camp fun because training camp sucked, and Goose would always do something crazy, hilarious to make us forget about those 2 days. And we had fun, man. I enjoyed my time with Goose, man. I don't, like I said, lots of I can't tell you, but yeah, we have fun.
Is there anything that maybe people don't know? Because again, we all know Tony Siragusa largely, but is there anything that maybe we don't know about Tony that maybe you say, hey, as a teammate, this really meant more to me, and I feel like as people remember and celebrate Tony Siragusa, they should know this about him.
He gave me relationship advice about women. He told me dating. Like he always talked to me about like, don't mess with her.
Really?
Everybody on the team play with her. Or he always used to tell me that about certain women. He'd see me out with them if he knew them, or he would give me a relationship advice. He was definitely a family man. He loved his daughter. I met her. She's grown now, but I met her at the Super Bowl here in Atlanta where I live now. We hung out for a little bit. And I
Wow.
met his daughter. She goes to the University of Alabama. Beautiful girl. His family's beautiful. He's definitely a family man. I don't know if everybody knows that. He's a big fan. He's been with his wife, I think, since college. So,
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it's 100. I know his son had just graduated from college too, recently from Villanova, and it's a great point that for as big a personality as he was, as larger than life, and as much of a celebrity as he was extraordinarily grounded as far as his family was concerned.
right, yeah, he loved his family. He always had his family with him. I met his daughter, and when she was 2, and then I met her again when she was 20. Like I said, the Super Bowl. So she was with him at the party. We was at a party. Gary V had a party.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know Gary V, the guy on
Yeah, Gary
social media.
Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
he had a party, and Goosen got me tickets there, and we hung out. It was fun, man. He always been a good guy, man. He always, I don't know, man. He took a liking to me. Like I guess I was a free agent rookie, and I made the team, so it was hard. So he wanted to see me succeed, and we had a lot of good times. It was hard talking to his best friend Rob Burnett. I saw Rob Burnett the other day because I know they were really close. And Rob was taking it pretty hard, but yeah, man, it's been tough for me, man, because I started crying for a little bit yesterday because it's so soon. Somebody with such a great personality, so young, they died so soon, man. It kind of sucks that we didn't get to experience them longer.
Did you stay? You mentioned that you saw him in Atlanta. Did you stay in touch with him, like regularly over the years? Even as we all know what you've been
I
through in the
mean,
last
it'd be
couple.
like I talked to like all the guys, maybe all the guys from the defense that I still hang out with, defensive linemen, and maybe 3 or 4 times a year we talk. I go to all the Super Bowls, so we always hang out at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
at the retired players parties, and so I saw Goose in San Francisco at Super Bowl, and I saw him at the Super Bowl in Atlanta, and we hung out, had a good time, talking, showing me, introduced me to his kids and they growing up, and talked about the old acting what I've been doing and my family and everything. So yeah, man, it's we stay in touch, man. It's kind of sad though. It's been kind of sad. It's been really rough, just why Goose? If anybody,
Right.
I don't want anybody to pass away, but why him out of anybody? He's one of the good guys that everybody loves.
Truly a light, right? Like truly
Right.
someone who went out of their way to be a light for a lot of people and to make those connections. And I think that's what it's because Lionel, to your point, we are. I mentioned this at the top of the show today. We're struggling with the celebration of such an incredible, what a unique American life Tony Siragusa lived, right? Like we're
Right.
celebrating that, but at the same time recognizing, we needed 3 more decades at least. Like my God,
Right.
this to be the life that's cut short. Um,
Yeah.
no, man, no. But yet, reflecting in my God, how much did Tony Siragusa live over 55 years? Like it feels like he lived the lives of 3 men during the span of
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
short
He did.
life.
He had a great life, man. I think I lived in Florida. I think I would have been in Florida. He had a property in Florida. We could go out and go on the boat, go fishing sometimes. Um, man, I'm still in shock. I've been in shock. I didn't believe it at first,
I
but
understand.
I got the call from Matt Little and Kyle Richardson, the old punter,
Yeah,
and it was for real. So I'm still taking it all in, man. I like, it's one of those things like I don't believe, like, damn, why Goose? But he will be missed. I've been posting a lot of pictures of us, from
I saw
Facebook,
I saw
and Twitter. Yeah, I've been trying to pull up all our old pictures, man, and just reminisce on the good times I had to enjoy with him when he was there.
Lionel. I know it's a really difficult day, and I really appreciate you being willing to take a couple minutes for us, and I'm grateful. I know you are doing some incredible work now for a lot of people that were in situations that you were in, right? And
Yeah.
I want to continue to lift and support that. Can you plug the Jellyroll, the Gift of Life Foundation?
Yeah, Jellyroll Gift of Life Foundation is the organization where I need a kidney transplant, and I realized a lot of people can't afford to get transplants because they can't afford the medication or they can't afford the copay. And so what we do is we raise money to pay for medications and pay for copays, and we also help people fly to different cities and get on multiple lists. Because certain cities have different waiting times for kidneys. But depending on how serious you need a kidney, that's the list we try to help you get on in that particular city with a shorter list. They're pretty much raising money for people to combat expenses for people who usually can't afford their medication or to get transplants.
It's an incredible thing, and I know how much I know you looking at your own mortality just a couple years ago, Lionel. We'll have people get the Jelly Roll Jelly Roll gift
Gift of
of
life.
life. Jeez, I don't know
Gift
why.
of life. Yeah,
Yeah,
gift of life. It's
Jelly
fine.
Roll giftoflife.org in order to
Yeah.
find out more. Lionel Dalton, I'm so sorry. This is why we're chatting, but I greatly appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to
Oh,
share some
anytime, man.
memories.
Anytime, man. Celebrate Goose life, man. Try to remember the good times, man. I'm trying to find the old Hard Knocks films now. I've been trying to find them and look at some of those old.
The one with
Yeah.
Shannon was going around yesterday, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
if
So,
you've never seen it, it will be a belly laugh. Unlike his Tony's deadpan of, gee, I think it was those rookies, man. I just think I hope they find who did that. Like it's just so painstakingly funny. It's so wonderful. All right, brother.
yeah, it was funny, yeah.
Love you, man. Thank you for taking the time for
Thank
us.
you,
Really
guys.
appreciate you.
Anytime.